Hello and welcome to Council Action. I'm your host, Kerry Luster, and today we have Councilman Mark Schmidt from Ward 8. You're the old man on the council, aren't you?
Senior member.
Senior member. Okay. How many years has it been for you?
20.
Wow. Wow. You must be doing something, right?
I'm in my I've finished 20. I'm in my 21st year. So yeah, come April next year, it'll be 21 years.
How many elections had?
Oh, I don't need. Whatever, divided by 3. 7.
Like I said, you must be doing something right. They must like you because you keep coming back, and that's great. That's great because you do a great job.
It's been fun. It's something I thought I'd get into for a few years, and I enjoy it. I still like the people I've been working with. City staff here and administration has always been fun, good to work with. My constituents, I know a lot of them.
I bet.
So it's been enjoyable, and I still look forward to coming to meetings. So
great.
It's good.
Great. I've been here for a few years, and I got nothing but positive things to say about you. I really do. And that's just not lip service. That's for real. I'm serious. You know, I like having you around. Don't go anywhere. Okay. So let's get started on what we had. Really don't want to, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. This pit bull thing just keeps coming up and up and up and up.
Yeah,
is there any kind of, what is the issue with this?
I don't know. It's an ordinance we've had on the books for 10, 11 years now with the ban on pit bulls. And for some reason, this group has decided that now's the time that we should relook at it and essentially repeal it. At the present time, we have our city attorney and as well as city staff doing a little research for us, as well as some of the research we're getting and research we're doing on our own. And it's probably something we're going to look at a future work session here. It'll probably come up in conversation. I don't see a strong presence on the council at this time to jump into it and repeal it. I don't see that magic number of 5 members that wants to do anything at this point in time. So I think for right now, it's going to stay status quo until, like I said, we're doing a little research. We're doing some background stuff on us, and we'll look at it again in a work session and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have a vocal, they're vocal. You can't say they're vocal majority, vocal minority. They're coming in force, and they're making their feelings known, and that's fine. That's, you know, they're citizens, and they're allowed to do that, and that's okay.
And I think what people have to understand is you're seeing whatever it is, they're a group of 10 or 20, 30 people that'll show up at a council meetings. Well, we have a city of 54,000. There are a lot of residents that I have talked to and that have called me that are in support of us keeping that ban. So just because you don't see them in a council meeting, all we're seeing is the orange shirts. You know, there are 2 sides to the story. So that's why I said we're doing a little research, some background. We're trying to feel out our residents. We're talking to people, so we're trying to get at both sides.
As responsible members of the council.
Yeah, we just don't want to, you know, just because this group is going to come up, you know, every council meeting for a while, I guess, you know, we're going to be responsible.
Right.
We have more than just that 30-person group to deal with. I have 3,000 residents or constituents of my own, so until I poll or get a good feel from them, again, it's something we'll probably look at. But I don't think anybody's ready to jump right in right now, so but we'll get there.
It's called doing your due diligence.
Due diligence, exactly.
Yeah, and that's what you're here for.
That's it.
Make sure do it. You're going to make a decision. Make sure it's the best decision for everyone involved, and that's great. Commend you guys for taking your time and not bowing to pressure immediately. Okay, we had public hearing, and that would be Mr. Stephen Henson. He was here for, I think, was that Hinkey's?
Yeah, it's in Ward 6.
Yeah, and you said something about 30% landscaping on that property.
Well, what they want to do is the owners, he's representing the owners that own that piece of property. Right. They also own the property next door, which is now going to be where the new U-Haul is going to tear that building down, and then they're going to put in a building there. So I think this gentleman and that ownership group would like to sell that piece of property, the old Team Auto. And I think they feel that they need to spruce the building up, spruce the property up a little bit, and they want to put a used car lot there and make it look like there's activity, and hopefully then it'll draw them a little bit more attention and maybe they'll be able to sell it, which is a good thing for them, and that's fine. I don't begrudge them for that. The problem is we still want them to conform to our ordinances, and there is an ordinance on the books that says you have to have in this size of property, 30% of it should be green landscaped. So, you know, I think it should be. I think there should be in that frontage of Lindbergh. They should have a nice frontage there with some greenery on it, as well as some greenery throughout the parking areas, and I think they'll be able to do that. So that shouldn't be a problem. They'll just have to redesign their parking lot a little bit, and they'll come back to us with something.
I got the impression that you've had some experience with the group.
Yeah, well,
about 12 years ago or something?
Again, it's the same ownership group that owns the building next door, which everybody knows has that beautiful green stripe on it. And as I noted at the council meeting, the reason that we now have an ordinance, a painting brick ordinance that's been revised, that if you want to paint your brick, you need council permission. If you want to change color, you need council permission. Otherwise, it's got to be the exact same color it is. That bill was inspired because of that green stripe on that building. And most people don't realize, but that's exactly where this ordinance has come from, is because of that building. They went in and striped that building, and we didn't know anything about it and couldn't do really anything about it at the time. And it's been a sore subject for a lot of years. So,
yeah, I got the impression, again, you're doing your due diligence. You're not going to jump in on this one either.
You know, again, I don't begrudge them for what they're trying to do, but you are going to go by the ordinances.
Right.
So,
and P&Z, you know, they denied, I believe,
well,
on this.
P&Z denied it, and really the only reason it was denied is they only had 4 people at the meeting. Okay. So they had a quorum, but just barely. So 4 people really can't. It's really not a quorum, I should say. So what happens is the 4 people vote. They all might have voted in favor, but without a quorum, you don't have that extra. You need that one extra vote to push it over. So it goes down in the books as basically a denial, even though all 4 people that were at the meeting that heard it and they all were in favor of it. So it's one of those quirks of the system. And there was even a note in the P&Z minutes explaining that whole idea, that that's exactly what happened. Was there were some members, there were 5 members missing, and so.
But they'll be back.
They'll be back. So it's unfortunate, but that's happened sometimes. This time of year, especially, you know, vacations and stuff. So.
Yep. I understand that. I wish I could go on. I need one really bad. Anyway, San Diego sounds good this time of year.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's move on to second readings. Passed 9208, an application ordinance to rezone for HC properties. Nothing big there. Another restaurant.
No, this is just a continuation of our Popeyes that's coming in, going in right next to Culver's.
Yeah.
So. That should be a nice addition there. They'll tear that existing building down and put up a nice little Popeyes restaurant. Yeah, it'll be nice.
Yeah, because the building next to it just kind of takes away from
the old car dealership. It just doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't fit. And it'll be fine with Culver's there, and then you'll have Popeyes next to it, and then it'll just be a nice little corner now with the new urgent care going up the street a little bit in place of the old Enterprise Leasing building. So it's just a little things that happen on Lindbergh, but it's just little improvements like that that make that drive just so much nicer, because you see just activity and what's going on. And it helps. It's very, very nice.
That's exactly what we want. Let's see, which was that? 9209, ordinance to issue an amendment to B5 ordinance number 7965. Councilman Siam. Let's see, that passed.
Yeah, but again, it's just a follow-up of our public hearing that we had on the problems that Walmart's encountering with their parking lot.
Yeah, that was the question. A slope failure. That wasn't. I didn't quite get what slope failure actually was about.
What's happening, to make it succinct, would be the far end of their parking lot, which borders the Coldwater Creek down there. that slope and that underground underneath there, about 80 feet down, they say, is actually moving. It's shifting.
Oh.
And they've actually got it monitored that they know it's shifting 1/10 of an inch every month, I believe, is what that
That's
was.
a lot.
So it's shifting.
Yeah.
So when that shifts, that means the ground above is moving ever so slightly, but it's causing that slope to just continually move, and the parking lot at that end is just going to keep going. So they brought in a new engineering group, and they've come up with a new plan. They're just going to basically cut that slope back and take the weight off that hill. So they'll lose some spaces on the parking lot at the far end, cut the slope back. I think it'll be a more gradual slope, and to try and they won't be able to stop it. I don't think he said we'll be able to stop it completely, but so minuscule, even though 1/10 of an inch, you know, it sounds like, but they're going to try and mitigate it that way. Take the weight off of it so there's not as much ground pushing down on that platelets down below, and then solve that problem. Hopefully solve the problem.
Hopefully solve the problem.
That's their plan. So you're going to see them move a lot of dirt. There'll be a lot of trucks in and out of there, and they're going to move a lot of dirt. Take a lot of dirt out, I should say.
Hopefully that won't be an issue in the future. That'd be something else we'll be hearing about.
Right.
For sure.
That's what we're hoping too.
We had some board appointments. I don't believe you appointed anyone, did you?
I did. I had a reappointment.
Okay.
I had somebody for the CPC.
Okay, because we actually had a lot of openings that needed to be filled.
Right. There are a lot of openings on some of our boards. So if anybody is, and I'll put it out again, anybody is interested in getting involved with the city on any of our boards and commissions, you can go to the website, you can call one of your council people, you can come up to City Hall, get an application, or even get more info on a particular board you might be interested, or even just get a pamphlet that lists them all. Most of them, I think, are listed on the website.
They're listed on the website, they're listed on the television station. We've got them running on the bulletin board. There's no way to not find out if you're interested.
Find out if you were interested in a board and commission, you see something, you just pan through them, you might find something of your interest, and then get hold of your council person, or, like I said, come up to City Hall and go up to City Clerk's office, and you can fill out an application, go from there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's all about being involved in your community.
It is.
And voting is fine. We wish we had more than 30% of the population going out and voting.
Exactly.
That's kind of ridiculous. I was talking to someone the other day about voting, and you're talking about people in other countries that walk hundreds of miles to cast a vote because they have been not allowed to do that, and they understand the importance of it. And we're only getting 30%. I think that's one of my pet peeves. I'm sorry.
You're right.
That is one of my pet peeves.
I agree
if we
with you.
can't get at least 50% of the population out to vote, that's just kind of nuts to me.
Yep.
And then you want to complain.
Yeah.
That bothers me. So, okay, off my soapbox.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I agree with you, Glenn.
Shoot.
I do. It is something.
Yeah, so please register, vote, and get involved. We have all these commissions, these openings. We really need to get those filled, and filled with quality people who are really interested in getting things done in the city. So, okay, so moving on to, let's see, that was
Request?
yeah, the request for transfer of special use permit, Mr. Johannes Menji. Yes, Mr. Menji didn't seem like he had a complete grasp of what was going on.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't. And this is, for us, it's just a simple transfer. It's somebody selling their business to somebody else.
Okay.
So for us, it's a transfer of the permits, well, not the permits, but the special use permit, and just an ordinance that says they're just taking over the business. It's not going to change, the business is not significantly going to change. It will continue doing the exact same thing it does now, which is sell gas in a little convenience store. The only difference is he will have to apply for his new liquor license, so it's under his name. But for the most part, when you have a simple transfer like that, there's really usually not a big deal.
Right.
Like I said, on our end.
On your end.
Sometimes on the petitioner's end, they don't quite understand exactly what's got to go on and what happens. And a lot of time we try to encourage city staff when they come out and make applications, encourage them to call their council person, and I could have probably helped Mr. Menji understand exactly what was going to happen. You know, when we don't get those phone calls, it's unfortunate. So,
well, it makes it a little more difficult for everyone involved.
right.
Yeah, I mean,
So, like I said, we try and encourage city staff to push that word along that you're highly encouraged to call your council person, and they'll tell you who it is, and they'll give you the phone number. So,
I mean, I'm part of the city staff, and whenever I get phone calls, we bend over backwards to try and help whoever it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're a citizen or whether you're doing business in the city, live somewhere else, it doesn't matter. We're here to help. We're here to try to help you out. And even if it's not our department, we'll get you to the right department.
Right.
We'll tell you who to talk to. We'll give you the phone numbers. So it doesn't matter. I have people calling all the time, and they'll ask me about something to do with public works. It's like, I don't know about public works, but I can get you to the people who can help you.
I got that number.
I got that number. Hold on, I'll be right back. And so, yeah, please, just call. Find a number to the city, even if it's not the main number. If you got to call any department, we're more than happy to help out. That's our jobs. That's what we do, and we love our jobs. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, that's for sure. All right, I think you had the two bills for first reading. The ordinance to authorize a special use permit for auto centers.
That's to follow up on the public hearing.
Yeah.
Simple appropriation,
Yes.
45,000 just to our telephone revenue. Just our budget projection didn't quite meet what actual expenses are, and it's still lower than our previous year, so we're fine. So it's just something we have to bump up a little bit. That's not highly unusual. We try not to do that, but sometimes in the budget that happens, and it's not the first year that it's ever happened, and it won't be the last. So adjustments are always made throughout the year on different accounts just to bring them up.
Yeah,
So,
just like the telephone, we're looking at the next one, the ordinance authorizing the appropriation of 45,000 for general revenue fund to account for telephones, to cover additional costs for telephones. Who knows? We don't have a clue sometimes.
right. The projections are made. We know, I know when Mr. McDaniels, our finance director, proposed that in the budget, he even said at the time that he wasn't really sure. I think they were still going through the evaluation of our phone system since it was being changed over. So he gave us a number, and he said it should be close. So, you know, you miss a little bit. It's still, like I said, it's still under the overall number, even with this 45,000 added to what we put in the budget, is still less than what we had in the total of 2015.
Yeah.
So we're still in good shape. We still are saving money on our phone bills. This is just like I said, it's just a simple adjustment. It happens every year on our budget. Some expense goes over all the time.
Things happen. Things always happen.
It's just,
You just never
it
know.
happens. That's
Yeah.
exactly that's why I can say it.
Yeah, you just
It
don't
happens.
know.
I think it happens at everybody's household budget.
Yeah.
Some things don't exactly fit every once in a while.
Don't get me started on the last 5 years of things happening unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Okay, the first reading on the ordinance authorizing transfer of special use permit.
Same thing.
That's,
Just the kind of convenience store we were just talking about, just the ordinance itself.
Yep.
And then the last ordinance is really just an appropriation of 5,000. We just are bumping up the our advertising a little bit.
Right.
Mr. Egan has suggested that the city should target a little different clientele group, something a little younger. We already are advertised on the radio, but that target market is just a little older, and it'd be nice to target just a little younger crowd. Anything, the 18 to 44 crowd is what we were trying to target. And so this will give the city an opportunity to buy some ads on 96.3. So it'll be nice over the next few months to have some advertising on that station and get a little different perspective, some younger people, and let's see if we can't generate some excitement with the city of Florissant.
Yeah, and to the mayor's credit, we did get, our department heads did get an email from him asking for suggestions. And so we all did send in suggestions.
Good.
And, you know, he took them under consideration, and, you know, this is not a bad way to go. So I'll keep my suggestions to myself.
Yeah, so we'll see. You know,
Yeah,
it's like
we'll see
anything
how it
else.
works.
We'll see how it works.
I think-
you know, whether we get, you know, I mean, the ideal would be to have some people move into the city, but even if they just come and enjoy the city, that's,
Right.
you know, that's not all bad either.
No,
If they can
not
come
at
and
all.
enjoy it. We got the beautiful fall festival coming up in a couple of months, and you know that's one of our
That's
prime.
huge.
That's just
It's huge. Every year, I can't believe it's like a sea of people. I get a shot. Every year I try and get a shot. Looking back
Down the
on
hill?
St. Francis. Yeah, looking back, going up the hill.
Or up the
and
hill,
there's
yeah.
nothing but people from side to
Yep.
side. You can't even see the street. It's just huge.
I know. It's very nice.
I mean, and these are people from all over the area.
Yes, they are.
And they travel, I wouldn't say hundreds, but they travel a lot of miles to come here for this because they know it's a nice, family-friendly atmosphere, and everyone's going to have fun, and it's going to be, they're all going to be good. They bring their
Yep.
kids. It's great. So,
It is very nice. All we need is a little nice weather, and it'll be perfect.
you know what? We've had some really good weather here in
We
the last
have.
few years for
We have.
Fall Festival,
We've
and
had.
yeah, and actually the Valley of Flowers.
God, that was dead. We had nice weather for that too this year.
Yeah, so
Very nice.
Fingers crossed.
Yep.
You know,
And
fingers
we get a nice
crossed.
day for that.
Now, all right. So, what's happening in your ward? Let's talk about that.
It's really not a whole lot. Like I said, other than just some businesses changing hands, there's really just not a lot going on. It's a quiet time of year. Most of my board is really residential. So what little commercial I have is right there at the Newhalls Ferry and Parker Road. So that's why you have a couple of gas stations. I have the old Plaza Madrid, which is on everybody's hit list. But yeah, there's just not much as far as that commercial area going right now. I wish there was. I wish I really had something to say to people that, you know, there's something really good, nice going to happen in there. But unfortunately, there really isn't right now. It's just kind of status quo. And my residential area is still very nice. Just we get a movement of people in and out all the time. It's constantly changing hands. And so if anybody has anything or any problem, please don't hesitate to call us. Call me and let me know. So it's fine.
Give
So
me your number.
everything's.
Give me your
Oh,
number.
phone number?
Yeah, give me your number.
You can either call City Hall at 921-5700 or just call me direct. It's 838-7410.
Or they can email you.
Or email. It's Florissant Mode, or
Yeah.
Ward8 at florissantmode.com.
That's it. That's it. Okay.
So-
You got it. You made it.
It's good.
Okay. All right, John. We're about done. Thank you, folks, for joining us. Russ will be back next week. I didn't fire him. He just had some things he wanted to do, and he's been such a trooper all these years. It's like, go ahead and do it. I'll take care of it for you this time. But don't call me next time. I'm not coming back. So, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time on Council Action. Bye now.